You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough as nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right, this is Jessie. How y'all doing out there today? You know, I miss you when we're not talking. And I'm sorry about last night. It was chaos. It was absolute chaos. But I've got some cool stories and some show prep for you today. And no, I haven't forgotten about the Iran missile thing I'm working on. So don't you forget about it either. Justin Kinney and I are putting our heads together. And I'll be reaching out to him to get that recorded sooner rather than later. So, Justin, if you're listening, you can be expecting my call. All right. There's been a lot going on in the world. Never mind the Middle East. We've got a new president has been elected in South Korea. And that could cause major problems. Oh yeah, major problems. Why do I say that? Well, it will now be President Moon in South Korea. And he's seen as an advocate of a softer approach to ridding the North of nuclear weapons. Translation, let's talk and play nice. And North Korea, as of Thursday morning, had yet to officially comment on Moon's election, but experts say there's no reason for it to dislike his win. Because, guess what? He wants to start talks and play nice and play ball with them and basically give in to them. Of course, then Trump administration officials worry Moon's softer approach North Korea, but they also likely know he won't push for any radical policies on the North or other issues that will hurt the decades-long alliance. Now, North Korea's nuclear weapons program has made remarkable progress since Moon worked for a liberal government that engaged North Korea with big aid shipments and economic cooperation projects 10 years ago. So we can hope, and it's unlikely but possible, that they will take the same course of action. But it is possible, who knows? Now, the THAAD system is already operational. And that's one thing Moon's going to have a hard time if he wants to reverse. So, that's in my mind, in your host's mind, that's a good thing. Now, Moon did say he would further bolster the alliance and immediately fly to Washington if necessary for sake of peace on the Korean Peninsula. Beijing, of course, is hoping for concessions from Moon to get relations back on track after months of Chinese fury over South Korea's decision to deploy THAAD. China has maintained an unyielding stance, even after the deployment went ahead, that THAAD's radar can spy on them. And monitor Chinese flights and missile launches. Now, that's brought about commercial retaliation against South Korean business interests in China, ranging from things like cancellations of visits of pop stars and actors to boycotts of the low chain of department stores, and shutdown of work on an amusement park being built in China by the company. China group tours to South Korea have also been canceled, while anti-Korean sentiment has proliferated online throughout the Chinese community. How's Japan taking the news? Well, of course, there's the obligatory congratulations. Japan's taking more of a wait and see. Okay? Moon's conciliatory approach to North Korea adds to the uncertainty in bilateral and trilateral cooperation with the United States, especially given Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's vocal support for Trump's increased pressure on the North. Of course, Japan has the comfort woman issue, a legacy of Japanese atrocities during the war that still haunts relations between the two sides. Moon opposes the 2015 agreement signed by Park that was heralded as a final settlement for Korean women who were among many sexually enslaved in Japanese military brothels before and during World War II. Moon has called for a renegotiation of the pact. Wah, wah. Bad move, Moon. Moon has also raised skepticism over closer security cooperation with Japan, such as bilateral military information sharing agreement, and emphasized Seoul's territorial claim on a disputed island between the two countries. Let's just hope he doesn't pursue a pro-North Korea, anti-Japanese stance. That would not aid to stability in the region. This is why who won in South Korea was going to be of key importance. Because basically, South Korea elected a dove, not a hawk. They needed a hawk. They got a dove. Let's just hope that dove can buck up and have at least a few hawkish tendencies. But Moon did run on a promise to move away from the hawkish policies of his predecessor, Park Geun-hye. And of course, if you listen to the show or follow any news at all, you know that Park Geun-hye was impeached and has been charged on accusations of corruption. So we still don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Now, Kim Jong-un has only dealt with conservatives in South Korea since 2011. So who knows what's going to happen? Moon was part of the an integral part of the Sunshine Policy that increased engagement with North Korea. Under President Roh Moo-hyun, he was the chief of staff. Candidate Moon said he would again embrace the Sunshine Policy, but would also get Pyongyang to give up nuclear weapons. Good luck, Moon. Quackers ain't giving up those nukes. That could mean expanding operations at the jointly run Kaesong Industrial Complex. Okay, right now the Kaesong Complex is shuttered. Who knows? But more engagement could drive that wedge deeper between Seoul and Washington. Because Trump and Shinzo Abe have taken a very hard line against North Korea. So we are going to have to play a wait-and-see attitude. And there is not much I can say about this other than the fact that North Korea is, let's just face it, quackers. Oh, let's play his sound effect. Yes, quackers is not going to give up his nukes anytime soon, kids. Nope, it ain't going to happen. He views it as his key to survival. Now, North Korea of course, now has 4 Americans. Why do Americans keep traveling to Pyongyang? I have no clue. I have no clue. How many times have I told you, do not travel to Pyongyang, Tehran, or right now I'd throw Damascus on that list. As an American, you are not safe in those countries. Stay out. Now, I've got a little bit of CIA news. I don't get many press releases from the CIA, but we got one. The United States Central Intelligence Agency has announced the establishment of a Korea Mission Center dedicated to dealing with North Korea. Of course, the Mission Center will use, quote-unquote, all the resources of the CIA and other U.S. intelligence agencies to address ballistic and nuclear missile threats posed by North Korea. Creating the North Korea Mission Center allows us to more purposefully integrate and direct CIA efforts against the serious threats to the United States and its allies emanating from North Korea. So, what can I say? It's gonna be interesting, kids. It really is. And Doc was just checking to make sure I made it on the air tonight. That's that little noise you heard. Doc was checking up on me. You know Doc, Dr. Judy L. Moore. Our very own host of Conversations in Science. With her own book coming out called Hidden Traps, which is about an online platform. On and offline, but it's mostly geared towards writers, but anybody who needs an online presence would benefit from the book. Trust me, I got a sneak peek. It was a rough draft peek, but it was good. I'm going to be buying a copy. Goodness knows my website needs attention and help, but your host hasn't had the time. So we're just going to have to take it as it goes, and we'll get things together, and, well, it'll happen. So, I'm just reminding Doc that every time she contacts me, a bing goes out on air for everyone to hear. Yes, Doc, it does. All right, so we've kind of covered Korea. CIA doesn't want to appear, for example, to jam North Korea communications or drop weapons on it. But he stressed that North Korea could never achieve what it wants with blackmail. And, of course, former CIA case officer Bob Baer said that he doubts the CIA knows what to do with a nuclear-armed North Korea. And who knows what is coming? Who knows? Is war coming to the Korean Peninsula? I think it's almost inevitable. I really do. Technically, of course, the two countries are still at war. So, on the good news, big ugly wars between major countries don't happen very often anymore. On the good side, however, and China doesn't want a war, especially on its border, and especially not a nuclear one. There's nothing in a Korean war for Tokyo, except more stirring up of anti-Japanese feelings. And unfortunately, wars can break out even when none of the parties wants war. Leaders may be rational. Yes, Kim Jong-un quackers may have a hair of rationality about him. But they're not perfect. Remember, they all are human. They may miscalculate the response of an adversary, misread a situation, or some crazy border guard could even just get trigger happy. Yes, they could. And if the North starts shooting south, I don't think... Well, I know our troops aren't going to stand there and take it. So, I highly doubt... that South Korea would take it if the North was actively firing on them. Alright, now, I do have one more North Korea note. The city hostel Berlin operates out of a large anonymous building in what was It operates out of a large anonymous building in what was Communist East Berlin, but it's a short walk from Checkpoint Charlie and other attractions that has become a popular place to stay. It even has good ratings on TripAdvisor and Yelp. What makes this hostel different from others in the city? Long a magnet for the world's youth is the dreary embassy next door where North Korea's flag flaps from a pole. Yes, the hostel used to be a diplomatic quarters, and has been earning the Kim government tens of thousands of euros a month over the past decade. But it will soon be closed to comply with the latest UN sanctions imposed over North Korea's nuclear test. The German government confirmed Wednesday it was acting as swiftly as possible to cut off the currency flow after German news outlets reported that North Korea was charging an unnamed German businessman $38,000 a month, about 38,000 euros a month, about $41,000 to operate the hostel. Some years after the fall of the Iron Curtain, North Korea, in a classic capitalist maneuver, leased the building, which had been the home of dozens of its diplomats. Its prime location in the center of Berlin made it popular with backpackers and students on field trips. So, yes, the unusual rental agreement began in the 2000s, according to various German news outlets. And North Korea has relatively few embassies in Europe, and many of them are holdovers from communist times. Its Berlin mission stands on Glinkenstrasse, once a central thoroughfare in the government district of East Berlin. So, like I said, who knows what's going to happen? It could be interesting. I know we'll get to the Middle East. Give me a minute. I wanted to cover it a little bit more. Gotta get quackers in too, don't I? I mean, come on. What would a show be without quackers, huh? Wouldn't be one of my shows, would it? Now, got some news on Iran. We're working. Now remember, who's North Korea's trading partner? Let's pull out our scorecard. Yes, pull out your scorecard. What do you mean you don't have your scorecard handy? Do we have to go through this again? All right. Syria, Bashar al-Assad, propped up by Russia and Iran. Iran trades missile technology and possibly nuclear technology with North Korea. Who's North Korea's big brother? China. Got it yet? And North Korea's also been trying to reach out to Russia. And of course, Iran and Russia are also trading partners. So this could be interesting, folks. This could be interesting. Now, as you know, if you listen to this show, I know you know. Otherwise, catch up. Here's your chance. Alright, I'm going through my show prep. Hang on. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, Iran is a state sponsor of terror. Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas. Come on. We've been down this road. You gotta remember some of this. I go through this almost every show. Well, dear sweet Iran is preparing to launch 2 new domestic satellites into space. And the move is like everybody in the U.S. security and intelligence community say, this is a cover for an illicit intercontinental ballistic missile test. It could be used as part of Iran's nuclear program, or even, if my guesses are right, the technology could be exported to North Korea. The latest test comes as the Trump administration continues to engage in a comprehensive review of the joint cooperation, the Iran nuclear deal, which, of course, your host says isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Of course, Iran continues to boost its military might and move forward with the testing of controversial ballistic missile technology, and the expertise needed to launch satellites into space is similar to that needed to properly launch intercontinental ballistic missiles, which could potentially reach U.S. soil. Yes. U.S. officials and national security experts have been paying close attention to Iran's missile progress as North Korea ups its provocative moves. And here, Tehran and Pyongyang have long traded illicit missile technology on the black market, and Iran's nuclear progress closely mirrors that of its partner. Iranian satellite launches also come as Iran engages in an unprecedented effort to reorganize and boost its military so it can serve as an offensive fighting force. This ain't good news, kids. No, not even close. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said the Trump administration is currently conducting the comprehensive review of Iran policy, and once they get their act together, they'll tell us. Basically, what he said was, once we have finalized our conclusions, we will meet the challenges Iran poses with clarity and conviction. Translation, we're still getting our act together, kids. Iran does have a history of using space launches as covers for tests to refine its ICBM technology, which, of course, is part of its larger nuclear weapons program. Okay? Okay. And, of course, what happens in Tehran doesn't stay in Tehran. It could very well end up in Pyongyang. Alright, folks, we are coming up on the bottom of the hour. And as a reminder, you can always find me on Twitter at Jessies POV. In fact, I keep my notifications open the entire time. Oh, yes, I do. So if you want to get a message to me, all you have to do, tag me in a tweet. Oh, yes. Tag me in that tweet. I'll see it. Maybe you'll even get a shout out on air. Oh, by the way, one station programming note that Station Manager Ann asked me to pass along. For anybody expecting Flo's Focus today, there were technical issues beyond our control, and we are hoping to get Flo's Focus on the air later this week. So, alright. And I will see you on the other side of this commercial break.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@KLRNradio.com.
Everything is changing.
thank you for hanging in there with me over that commercial break. We are now in the second half of my show, and I got more to talk about. Barely touched my show prep, in fact. I got Libya. I got Syria. I got Hamas and Israel. Oh, more Syria. Of course there's more Syria. Come on. There will be Syria in my show for probably as long as there is Daesh. Daesh, ISIS, ISIL, same thing. You want to know why your host uses Daesh? Alright, I'll give you the real quick thumbnail version. It's an acronym that they hate. And that's enough, in my mind, to make me want to use it. Oh, yes. Now, I'm just thumbing through my show prep, trying to get just a little bit more coordinated because, well, I didn't get a chance to put all the articles in a neat order before I got on the air, so you're going to have to just play ball with me for a minute, because I got Kurdish stuff, and I don't want to go from Kurds to Iran, back to Kurds and Libya, and all over creation. I want to try and present this in some semblance of sanity, although, of course, as you regular listeners well know, my sanity is highly debatable. But I do enjoy what I do, so what can I say? I enjoy talking to you guys, and you know that's not a joke. Alright. We're going to start with Libya, because I just got one story there, and I thought it was kind of amusing. Libya's Coast Guard said it intercepted nearly 500 migrants packed into a wooden boat and returned them to Tripoli on Wednesday after warning off a ship that was preparing to pick them up for passage to Europe. A footage captured by Sea-Watch, which is a non-governmental agency, captured by Sea-Watch, which was a non-governmental agency, showed mass chaos and a Libyan Coast Guard vessel coming within meters of the ship as it sped to stop the meters of its own ship while it sped to stop the migrants. It highlighted the confusion in the crowded waters as desperate migrants tried to reach a better life and better authorities scrambled to deal with the chaos. An international rescue organization called Sea-Watch tried to hinder the work of our Coast Guard in a bid to take the migrants, claiming Libya is not safe for migrants. Qassam said the Coast Guard also exchanged fire with smugglers, but gave no details. Most migrants attempt the perilous journey on a flimsy inflatable boat provided by a smuggler that are barely equipped to make it to international waters. Larger wooden boats carrying several hundred migrants are rarer. Some migrants are turned back by the Libyan Coast Guard, which generally delivers them to detention centers notorious for poor conditions and ill treatment. So, Libya turned its own people around and possibly put them in prison. Interesting. Now, we do know that Libya is a failed state. Alright. Let's talk Hamas. Oh yes, Israel and Hamas. There was a veteran Israeli journalist and commentator and said there was a video of Palestinian terrorist Marwan Bahari secretly eating during a prison hunger strike. Let's hope That video damages his standing. Barghouti, who's leading the much-publicized strike, has been caught eating on at least 2 occasions. He ate 2 cookies, and he downed an Israeli-made chocolate bar and a packet of salt. And, of course, this is not the first time Barghouti has been caught cheating on a hunger strike. However, this time it will likely, since it was caught on video, it will likely erode his claim to lead. Barghouti has long been considered a front-runner to succeed Mahmoud Abbas as president of the Palestinian Authority, but Yari pointed out that Barghouti's leadership bid was already in trouble before the video surfaced. Barghouti's camp was defeated in the last Fatah primaries, although he himself came in first. Terrorist leader's hunger strike was seen as a move to strengthen the claim to be Abbas's successor and is not going well. The hunger strike is not his first, of course, and did not take off as planned and will slowly scale down. Quite a few of the prisoners who joined the strike simply refused to have the prison meals but buy food in the canteens. Oh, yes. So, they're refusing prison food, but it's okay if they eat food they buy with their own money while on a hunger strike? Wah, wah. In Palestine, of course, Barghouti is viewed as a national hero. He's serving several life sentences for murders committed on his orders during the Intifada. Among his victims were a Greek Orthodox monk, an Israeli motorist whose car was riddled with machine gun bullets, and patrons of a Tel Aviv restaurant killed in a shooting and grenade attack. He ordered at least 20 other murders, but was not prosecuted for them. Barghouti made no defense and claimed he is a political prisoner, asserting the right that Israel had no right to prosecute him for murders committed on its own soil. Although the court ruled that this was not the case, Barghouti gathered around him a large group of international admirers who believe his release could be the key to peace, claiming he's the only Palestinian leader with legitimacy to achieve a 2-state solution with Israel. However, Barghouti himself has rejected the 2-state solution, once telling the media that even a complete Israeli withdrawal from the West Bank would only be a step toward bigger things. 1 state for all the peoples, that is the replacement of Israel with an Arab majority state. I don't see Israel going along with that one, kids. Now, got another one I wanted to bring to you. One of Hamas's most senior officials said on Wednesday a document published by the Islamist Palestinian group was not a substitute for its founding charter, which advocates Israel's destruction. Mahmoud al-Zar, a regular critic of Israel, said the political document announced in Qatar on May 1st okay, there we go. It unstuck itself. Whatever it was, it seems to have fixed itself. And let's hope that's the only time that happens. I just noticed it a few seconds ago, so I apologize if my broadcast was interrupted. So, moving right along. Yes, moving right along. Hamas wants Israel gone. Israel wants to try and do a nifty thing called a 2-state solution. South Korea wants to try and soften its stance towards North Korea. Yet, North Korea wants to blow people up. Hamas wants to blow people up. Iran and North Korea are trading partners. This whole world's gone crazy. And I'm sorry, folks. as much as I don't like it, we are hearing quite a bit of this going on. Oh yeah, that is actually my take on many world affairs. Alright, the Kurds. The Kurds. In deciding to arm Kurdish fighters in Syria, the White House made a risky choice that places military expediency over broader diplomatic concerns. The Kurds have proved to be the most effective fighters in the country against Daesh, and they will play a critical role in liberating Raqqa, Daesh's de facto capital. But the Kurds are viewed by Turkey, a NATO ally and key participant, that Alright, sorry about that, folks. But, okay, so here's the deal. We're arming the Kurds. The Kurds are viewed by Turkey as terrorists. We view them as an ally. Now, there's two factions of Kurds. The PKK, which does do bad things in Turkey, and the YPG. We like the YPG, we don't like the PKK. Turkey is afraid that if we give the YPG weapons, they'll end up in the hands of the PKK. So, sorry, folks. Alright, we're going to take a brief commercial break. I got to straighten something out. And I need just a minute to do this, and I apologize deeply. I got to check on something that just flew across my screen. So we are going to take a quick 1-minute commercial break, and I will see you on the other side.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
All right, thank you very much for your patience. All right, so we've got one more story that I wanted to touch on. All right, like I said, by the way, there's two more actually. Sorry about that. U.S.-backed Syrian militias claim to have fully seized the town of Tabqa and the Tabqa Dam from Daesh, which of course is a major objective in the preparations to launch an assault on Raqqa, which of course is the jihadist biggest urban stronghold. The Syrian Democratic Forces, an alliance of Kurdish and Arab fighters, has been battling the militant group for weeks in Tabqa, which is about 40 kilometers or 25 miles west of Raqqa on the Euphrates River. With airstrikes and special forces from the U.S.-led coalition, the Syrian Democratic Forces are advancing on Raqqa to ultimately take the city, which is also the Islamic State's base of operations in Syria. So that, if they can hold it, is phenomenal news. Of course, Ankara strong, this all goes back to the Kurds having weapons. The YPG has emerged as a valuable partner for the United States in the fight against Daesh. And Washington says Syrian Kurdish forces are necessary to take Raqqa, which Daesh is used for a hub for planning attacks abroad. Now, Ankara opposes U.S. support of the YPG, viewing it as an extension of the PKK, which has waged a 3-decade insurgency inside Turkey. That's the real quick thumbnail. All right. I got one more story, folks, and then we got to make our way out of here because the right side, is coming up next. All right. Where is it? Yes, pedestrian walkways, bike lanes, green spaces, an unusual election platform for a politician in Iran. Yes, Tarana Yalda, a 62-year-old architect, won the approval of Iran's conservative election monitors to run for a seat on Tehran City Council. Hailing from a family of artists and musicians educated in Italy and France, Yalda is one of a handful of progressive candidates in a field of more than 2,700 vying for 21 places on the council. The municipal elections take place on May 19th, the same day as the presidential contest, in which incumbent Hassan Rouhani, a relative moderate, is seeking a second 4-year term. While most of Iran is fixated on the presidential vote, Yalda's candidacy has won attention from the capital's urbane educated set. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Yalda's supporters say Tehran has never had a prominent architect or city planner serve on city council. The current council attempted to enforce gender segregation laws by separating men's and women's offices in municipal buildings. Morality police occasionally patrol the streets to limit intermingling of the sexes in public spaces. Yalda opposes such steps, warm and grandmotherly. With henna-dyed hair under a patterned headscarf, she speaks of making Tehran, whose gray hair and gridlocks and freeways are reminiscent of 1970s Los Angeles, a more humane city. On that note, folks, I gotta make my way out of here. The right side will be up next. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter at Jessies POV, or you can shoot me an email, jessiespov@klrnradio.com.